Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. A couple of years ago, when Nicola Sturgeon was the First Minister, she decided to show the world what a wonderful human being she was, how virtuous she was, how willing she was to spend unlimited money bringing in unlimited numbers of Ukrainians to come and live in Scotland. She said it's unbelievably welcoming of Scotland. The more, the merrier. We are the best nation in the world. Look at us as we take in thousands upon thousands of Ukrainian families, even though we know we can't house our own people. But that doesn't matter. Our people are worthless to me. Whereas if I bring the Ukrainians in, I look magnificent. And so she brought them in. And here we are, just a couple of years later. And many of these families are now either homeless or going to be made homeless because the housing crisis is increasing. It's getting worse and worse each and every day. And so you have these Ukrainians living in Scotland. Some of them don't speak very good English. They are far removed from any kind of family help, which may be left back in Ukraine. And they're at the bitter mercies of the authorities now, who basically can't house them at all. And what to do? Well, the SNP are actually now partially begging England to take some of them. They want to be able to send some of them down south to England. But England wasn't the one that opened up the border and said, no, don't come. But they may well end up having to take them. But she's hitting out at the UK government because, of course, it's obviously the UK government's fault that she invited all these Ukrainians. And she's saying it's a terrible indictment that the UK government isn't willing to house these people that she invited in, uncontrolled, unlimited. And so there is this shameful betrayal by the SNP government under now John Swinney, who is mopping up the absolute shit-filled mess left by Nicola Sturgeon and her desire to be seen as human. She clearly isn't. She's psychopathic or sociopathic. She's somewhere on that scale. Narcissistic for sure. Definitely Group B personality disorders. And she didn't bring them here because she felt compassion for them. She brought them here because it made, in her mind, her a better person. And it clearly didn't. But she said, we have this super sponsor scheme. We'll bring them in. We'll force people to take them. We'll pay them a pittance to take them. And, we'll create this thing. Rather than doing the decent thing, which is to do nothing at all. When you start doing stupid things with moving people around, you end up creating a situation like this. Nicola Sturgeon is, by definition, a people trafficker. She is guilty of trafficking human beings by trying to get as many Ukrainians into Scotland as possible. Bring them. Not for their benefit, but for her mighty glory. She's no different than those people trying to shift them across the channel. And she must be held personally responsible for them. But with 10,000 children in Scotland homeless, what's to do? Every policy they have is destroying the ability to build new homes. They are doing everything to get rid of the private rental sector. The PRS is dying on its arse, and it's going to get worse. 2027 will be the end. Once landlords are forced to put in heat pumps, guarantee there'll be no private rentals in Scotland, and the housing problem will get worse. But compounded by the likes of Sturgeon bringing in people from all over Europe simply for her greater glory. What an evil, stupid, vain arse of a woman. I'm glad she's gone, but her legacy will live on for years. A legacy of misery and poverty and probably death on the streets. Let me know what you think. Thanks very much.